Hi, everyone. My name is Kimberly Inez Mays, and for those who don't know me, I demystify technology for small business owners and coaches so that they can generate more leads and nurture those leads. So, I want to go live with you today, and I want to talk to you about really being able to master your craft and why it's never completed. And I want to talk to you from the perspective of change because sometimes change can be very scary, especially when we're really good at something and then all of a sudden the environment changes, the things that we need to learn changes, or maybe the need for what we do changes. And I want to give some examples of this from my personal life to see if you can relate. And then I also want to just leave you with a few things and with a resource that can support you. So if you've known me for a while, you kind of know my backstory. But for those who don't know me, I'll tell you what my backstory is. So I've had over 20 years of technology experience, mostly in the marketing sector, but a lot of what I know was self-taught, believe it or not. And a lot of what I know is based from just me being curious. And I was able to turn a lot of that curiosity into a career. So from the right old age of 16, it was back in the 90s, or yeah, like the 90s, I was really involved in learning how to code, learning web design. Back then, we had sites like GeoCities, Angel Fire, and these were just kind of free sites so we can play around with and make a website of our own. Usually the website looks crappy. Well, by today's standards, those websites back in the 90s look, they all look like garbage, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. So with those skills that I taught myself, I was able to get a career or start my career in 2006. I would say in 2006, I went into email marketing. And at that time, you really needed the skill set to do HTML, JavaScript, some light programming, because back then, to put together an email, you needed to code the whole thing. There was no drag and drop. You needed to be able to take a Photoshop file, slice it up into little pieces, and then you needed to be able to then take that code, put it somewhere, test that code, modify that code, make sure the content's correct, make sure the links are correct, make sure everything's correct, and then you had to then send it off. And sometimes you had to use some elements of programming to do that. And so, because that was like my first job out of college, my first salary job out of college, I felt like that was like my thing, like it was mine. I needed to hold on to, needed to grasp it. So for every time the organization or the company did a reorganization, it would always put a fear in me because I felt like, oh, well, this could be it. I could be cut. What am I going to do? This is my thing. I've worked so hard on it. I learned this, and this is me. And I finally arrived. And it wasn't until I was moved out of a position that I realized that, skill sets need to evolve. No matter what you do, your skill set always needs to evolve. So before I got cut from a position, I was actually promoted to a coder and or a programmer. And the thing was is I didn't know any of the programming languages that I was supposed to use. Well, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know it. I wasn't fluent in it. So what I mean by that is it took a lot of trial and error, and I didn't always have the hand holding. I didn't have much hand holding actually. It was just like, okay, well, I could either stay with the knowledge that I had and not do well, or try, get better, and then excel. So I chose the latter, right? So I said, okay, well, if you've ever programmed or coded something, you know that sometimes you get syntax errors, sometimes you get things that just don't work properly. Maybe there's a rogue line of code, maybe there's a loop that causes a certain part of the code to execute over and over that you didn't intend it to. So there are a lot of things that could go wrong. And this was before like ChatGPT and all of those like assisted like things that we have now to catch all this stuff. So what I had to do was just do it piece by piece, to look at the bigger picture and then say, okay, well, this block of code is going to do this. This block of code is going to do this. And then I wrote in lines to tell me everything that was going on. So eventually I was able to fill in the gaps with the complete application. And that's how I taught myself pretty much how to program anything. Because it's all just syntax. Once you have a computational mindset, you can apply that anywhere. And that's really what the message is today, is that, have that curiosity, have that computational mindset, because your environment is never going to stay the same. You're always going to be challenged. You're always going to have to learn something new, and things are going to scare you. Things are going to scare you. You're going to think, oh, well, now am I going to be downsized, or am I now the product or service or the coaching or, whatever, the consulting that I provide, is it now going to be obsolete? I know with the rise of AI and a lot of like, generative like things, like it will really revolutionize the way that, things are written, even art and illustration. It could be scary, especially because these models really feed off of things that human beings have produced. But one thing I've learned in my journey, whether it was in corporate or in business or just in life in general, is that the more you adapt, the better, number one. But also importantly, number two, is that I really don't feel like people can be replaced. We just adapt. But the closer that you get to other people, to other influencers, and be influential yourself, the more impact you're going to have and the harder it is for you to be obsolete. So you can really maintain your longevity by doing those two things: staying creative and adaptable, and also staying sociable and influential. So, if you are thinking, okay, well, I've learned all I need to learn, I'm really, really good at this one thing, I'm here to tell you that you haven't really arrived. And if you're going to stay in that comfortable space, you're going to be uncomfortable really soon, because the landscape has really changed. So fast forward to 2023, as I wrap up my story, is that the skill sets that I had back then, where I had to like code in HTML and make the emails and make this and that, all of that is no longer applicable. Nobody's doing that right now. Everything is drag and drop. Everything is done via push of a button. Now, like all the Photoshop skills that I had, Canva does like it in seconds. So before, it used to take me like an hour to remove a background from an image. Now, Canva, you just do it like that, right? So I say all to say is just don't stay stagnant, stay ever moving, stay flowing. And sometimes, even if you don't quite understand it, don't give up. Just when I got moved into that programmer role, like I didn't just say, well, I don't know how to do this. Somebody help me, teach me. I was like, all right, let me just go in and fail forward. Let me go in and just get those syntax errors, get those like loops, done in a safe way, of course. But let me try this so that I learn from it, and then I'm able to then look at the bigger picture, fill in the blanks, and then ultimately be able to be fluent in it. And that's what I did, and that's what I want everybody to do. And I understand that sometimes when faced with something technical outside of your comfort zone, it can be like, well, let me just revert, do it this way. And what I am set out to do is to really empower people to have those aha moments, like, I got it now. I get it. This makes sense. It's been explained to me thousands of times, but Kim, when you finally explain it to me, I get it. And so that's what my mission is. And that's what makes me really excited to bring those moments to people. So one resource that I have for you in closing is my free training, Funnel Automation Magic. So if you heard the word marketing funnel before and you're just like, it's one of those jargon terms that, it's like that bro marketing thing. I don't really want any part of that. I do my outreach, I do this, and I'm fine, I'm set, I'm good. Well, I'm here to tell you that, it's a tool that you may be leaving on the table because you don't understand it, but it's something that could really help and propel your business forward. So I would like you to at least give yourself a chance to understand it and to learn it. And I want to give you that chance by offering it for free. So I did a workshop on October 10th. It was absolutely free. And so what I did is I took that content, and I actually made it available for everybody because I really want this to be something that does not hold you back. If you are wanting to have better communication with your leads, your clients, your peers, whoever is in your audience, you really need to be collecting emails. So that is something that I am giving you for free for now. I don't know. I may increase the price later. I may put a price in it. I don't know. But right now, I took that training and I made 7 distinct videos out of it so that you can benefit from it. So go ahead and download it, take a look, take a listen. You probably could just watch or listen to it in the car or in the gym, the treadmill, or wherever you are. So yeah, I just want to leave you with that. Always stay curious, learn, and be influential. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.